welcome to another video, and today I'm going to talk about the Council Tool Ditch Bank Blade, sometimes referred to as a Kaiser blade, surveyor's brush axe, some farmers call it a bush axe, I think it's also called a briar axe. So it's called a number of different things. Council Tool calls it the ditch bank blade. And this past weekend I went to a little place in our town that sells mulch, topsoil, gravel and stuff by a skid steer bucket scoop. And while I was in there paying for this stuff that we got to spread around out here on the farm, I happened to see this sitting over there. It was $44.10. I don't know why the 10 cents, but anyway, it's $44.10. I had no idea how much these things were worth, but I was going to support my local business person there, and they have some tractor supply parts and these scoop things and all. I said, well, okay, I'll go ahead and buy this from them rather than ordering it online. Had no idea how much these things cost. I got back, I checked it on Amazon.com, and Amazon had the same exact thing for 56 bucks. So sometimes when you try to do a good deed, it kind of works out for you. So anyway, let me go ahead and take this thing off here and tell you a little bit about this. The handle here is 40 inches. You can see it's hooked on one side. Both sides of the blade are sharpened. Obviously this side has a hook, which is probably where the briar axe comes from, grabbing them and that type of thing. It is very head heavy, so I imagine when I swing it, it's going to carry a lot of head weight and be able to chop through some stuff. One thing that I noticed on this, and some of this stuff, it's not a knock on these tools or what have you. I mean, it's a $44 tool. It's not like a $240, $300 axe of some kind that I'm expected to be hair popping sharp and have a super duper handle all on it. It did have a few little rough places on there. I just took a little piece of steel wool down here so that it wouldn't hurt my hands, and I kind of knocked those off. I'm going to want to kind of oil this thing up. Don't like to have a lot of varnish on there. That'll give you some blisters before it's over with. I just went down with a little piece of steel wool, and that handle feels feels just fine now. So it's got a hickory handle on it. The blade edges, you see this thing is painted black, and because I got such a good deal on it, I have no idea how long it may have been sitting in that store. But the blade, I have taken one whack at something with it, but it had this black paint all the way on the blade. That really made it pretty dull when I first got the blade. I don't have a problem with that because that kept it from rusting while it was sitting in the store or in shipping and that type of thing. It was simply a matter of took a flat file and did initial sharpening with that, and then I took my puck and came back in and did a little touch-up work on it. So I've got it fairly sharp now. So the handle looks good, blade feels good, and I've never really done a lot of work with these, but I do have actually have a couple of banks that I do not want to take my bush hog on. I do not want to roll a tractor, so be a little more manual work, but it's too much work for my DR trimmer. The weed eater won't get it, and I don't want to take a tractor on it, so manual intervention is going to be my only hope. So I'm hoping this brush axe does the work that I want it to do without wearing me out too bad. But without further ado, let's go swing this thing a time or two and see what it does. All right, I'm going to take the initial whack with this. Let me knock some of these limbs off so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, well I guess that was part of the test, but I've I've watched a couple of videos on this thing, and I can't believe how hard they swing these. So I'm gonna see if I can knock this sweet gum tree down over here near my blueberry patch. Your Kaiser will cut. All right, well, the other thing to do is get out there and go get on the bank and see if I can knock it down. And at least it'll cut down an 1.5 inch tree for sure. All right, we'll go try it on the bank now and see how it does. Okay, the initial swing was a success. So this is one of the banks that I have to clean out. My neighbor has a lake right over here, and we have a culvert underneath here, and they've got all kinds of rocks and stuff, just all oddball kind of things down in there to stop soil erosion. So I do not want to take my tractor with a bush hog over the edge of this embankment. I can't even see what's down there. So I'm going to give it a couple of whacks, see what it does. But we've had some flash flooding in the area, and it's tearing up my driveway, so I have some other things to do besides videos. So let me give it a couple whacks, see how it's going to do, and I'll get back to doing this at some point in the future. All right, here we go. All right, well, I can see I might get this done faster than I thought I would. That thing really takes the stuff out. Good gracious. All right, well, I'm gonna say that if you have a place that you do not want to take your tractor in, unless you have a walk behind bush hog or something like that, big giant DR trimmer type thing or what have you, and you want to clear out a bank kind of safely, and or if you just want to get some good exercise or work on your baseball swing, I highly recommend this tool. Add a little sharpening on it, a little sanding on it, and it will clear a bank. All right, I'll see all you turkeys on the next video.
I'm waiting for the video to end.
Bye. Bye.